Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Hi, I'm Hugh. I'm your historian for the upcoming trip.
Oh, great. Nice to meet you.
And well, I thought I'd check in early to see if I can work the damn technology.
Same reason I'm here.
So is this going to be your first trip over to Normandy and doing D-Day and Market Garden and the Ardennes?
Um,
Well, it'll be my first trip as a civilian, yes.
Oh, right. Okay. Tell us more.
I was in the military for 20 years, spent a lot of time in the Mediterranean and over in the Far East. So
Wow.
I did get to Scotland once, I think,
Yeah.
and once in the northern part of England. So
Yeah.
I have similar experience, 23 years Army, served in Europe, Korea,
Wow.
all over the United States. So visit a lot of battlefields, but never Normandy.
yeah. Pohang,
Well,
Korea, perchance?
Sorry?
Did you get to Pohang?
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the big steel plant there.
I never went to the steel plant. We had a part of the area support group was down there that so when we did the RSOI, they accepted the incoming forces and moved them on to Camp Carroll, et cetera. So
Yeah.
well, we're looking forward to getting you over to London. And I'm actually heading out to Normandy tomorrow. I've got two Normandy tours before the one that we're all going on.
Nice.
I'll be able to give you a heads up on what the weather's like.
sounds like an ideal occupation.
It is an ideal occupation, yeah.
Well, if it's anything like in Germany,
Aha,
hold. Hi.
the bee.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you guys.
Good to see you.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, I had to actually pull out my winter coat again. We're having like mid 40s and breezy.
Where are you?
Yeah.
It kind of right smack in the middle of Germany.
Okay.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it was 33 here this morning
Mm-hmm.
in Minnesota. So
Wow.
And your high is how much gonna be?
say again.
And your high is going to be?
69 today.
Okay. Well,
So
my mid 40s are the high. All right. Well, good.
Well, it's a beautiful summer day in Kansas City. So
Oh, good. Good. How are things in London, Hugh?
Well, I'm outside of town actually, and I can tell you it's got a cold. We've had a north and an east wind.
Hmm.
It's a
Mhm.
month now, which means it's cold. Bright sunshine, but interspersed with really heavy showers.
We actually chance of a heavy thunderstorm. I don't know how that's supposed to happen in this kind of temperature, but the National Weather Center had put that out for our area, but nothing happened. So I don't know what they were thinking.
But the weather we got now is very much like June 1944 weather. Cold, breezy, west wind now.
Yeah.
So, but it'll clear over the next 2 weeks. So we should be. I'm actually heading over to Normandy tomorrow, Sabine, for got two tours coming up over there before our one. So I'll be
Okay.
able to get a handle on what the weather's like.
so
Good.
what are the temperatures normally like in June? Your neck of the woods.
Well, it can be very nice. We've actually like just before this week, we had warmer temperatures in Germany than in the southern part of Europe. But you just never know. It's the the advice is to bring stuff that you can layer, you know,
Mm,
just in case that it turns out one of the cooler trips. But we usually at some point, especially on those long 2 week long trips, once we get past Bastogne, it tends to be warmer.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather have it cool than hot.
Yeah, for hiking, it's definitely nicer if you don't have the mid 80s or anything like that, right?
Yes.
And in Normandy, you'll be right on the English Channel and adjacent to the Atlantic Ocean. So that tends to have a cooling effect.
Yeah. Ah.
But I mean, the weather pattern in June can be exactly what it was like it just depends on where the jet stream is.
Mm.
If the
Okay.
jet stream flips south, then we get all the cyclonic weather coming across the Atlantic. If it flips north, we get high pressure systems coming up from Africa, Mediterranean, and the south. It was exactly what it was like in May 44, and then suddenly the jet stream flipped. So yeah, variable, as Sabine was saying. So bring something you can layer up, bring a light waterproof and perhaps a jersey in case the wind in Normandy is a bit chilly.
Oh, somebody just joined us. Hello. I'm Sabina.
Can't hear you, James.
Can you unmute yourself?
You mean me?
No, and it doesn't give a name. It just says iPad Pro on there. The gentleman that just joined us.
It's my friend Jim.
Jim? Okay.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah,
Oh.
much better. Yep.
Fantastic.
Hello, I'm James Berkelo. How are you doing, our Jim Berkelo?
Jim,
Nice.
hi. I'm
Good to
Hugh.
meet
I'm
you.
your historian for the tour.
Well, nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Am I early or late?
You're good.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we still have like 5 minutes to go. So you're all guests after my own heart. You early.
Right. If you're not early, you're late.
Well, we are who we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sabina, where do you live now in Germany?
Well, the town is called Bad Kissingen.
Yeah, I know it well.
You do? All right. Were you over here with the army?
Yeah, Brett and I were both stationed in Stuttgart back in the late 80s.
Okay.
So our go to war plan was up in the Bad Kissingen area.
Yeah, my husband was stationed at Wildflecken.
Yeah, I know it well. Yeah, Wildflecken. Yeah, Wildflecken. So we were both down in Berblingen.
Okay. Yeah.
Right near Patch Barracks. I mean, this is back 88, 89, 90 time frame. So that was a long time ago.
Well, he was here from 1986 to 88. So,
Yeah, that's around the same time. Yeah.
right, guarding the Fulda Gap.
Yep. Yeah. In fact, we tied in with I guess it would be the most eastern squadron of the 11th ACR we tied into. Was that right, Brett?
Yeah, I only remember 256 Panzer Grenadiers. That's who I flew traces with. So
Yeah, 10 PZ was our 10 Panzer Division was the German division that we rounded out, I think.
I see.
Something like that. Anyway, all right, we digress.
But that's great. So you know exactly where we live right now. Yeah.
Right, right, very much so. It's a beautiful area.
It is. It is. It's actually, Little Town is now a World Cultural Heritage Site, connected in the group of the great spa towns of Europe is what.
Oh, really? Cool.
The BAD in front of it, one of those spa towns.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's a big deal here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a few other folks joining us. Hello, everybody. I also see somebody without a camera. It does say DLEE. I'm not sure if that's because technically there's an issue, or if you can turn a camera on, we would love to see your face. I know some technical equipment doesn't always work the way we want it to. Hello, Lauren, also. Welcome to the group.
Hello there.
Okay. I believe Eric, I haven't said hello to you yet either. Hello.
Hello.
So we do get a little bit of a group together. I also see Jim's phone without a camera. Hello. Is it possible to turn on cameras? There
Yep.
we go. Great. Good to see you. Make sure to unmute yourself when you're talking.
How's that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Great. Good
Ain't
to you.
technology wonderful?
Fantastic. All right. So we have exactly 10:30 sharp Central Time. Hugh, do you want to get started, or what do you think?
I think we should. Shall I just say a few words of welcome and introduction, and then we could just take it from there. Let me just say hello, everybody. My name's Hugh, and I'm going to be your historian for the tour. Very much looking forward to it. Really pleased to say that Sabine and I have worked on tours before, so we're an established team, as it were, and looking forward to working with you all again. We'll be welcoming you quite soon now in London, where we're going to be looking at sites to do with the Second World War as like an introduction before leading on into Normandy, where we'll explore the beaches with you all. And of course, we're getting very close now to the anniversary date. And if you haven't been to Normandy before, around about this time of year, it's a really welcoming fiesta type tight atmosphere. Liberation is still very much in the local culture, and I guess you're going to see a lot of flags. You'll see a lot of American flags, British flags, Canadian flags, all put up by locals. There'll be people in jeeps and uniforms. So it's a great time of year to visit at the anniversary. And then after we've explored Normandy with you all, we'll be making our way to the Ardennes for the Battle of the Bulge, but via the Market Garden campaign. So for that, what we'll do is we'll kick off where the land campaign started at Joe's Bridge, which is right on the eastern border of Belgium, where it crosses over into the Netherlands. And we'll spend a bit of time actually on Hell's Highway, which is a single route they were trying to get down to relieve the parachute drops. And we'll be spending quite a bit of time in Nijmegen, looking at the famous crossing of the Waal there. It's a splendid American memorial to the American troops who did that. Before we head up and visit Arnhem Bridge, which was the bridge that was held by the British 1st Airborne Division, and we'll be staying the night there just after we've seen a really fantastic museum, the Hartenstein Museum, which is devoted to the airborne at Arnhem, which actually is in the headquarters of what was the headquarters of the British Airborne there. Before we make our way to the Ardennes, where we will explore what happens in the defense all around Bastogne. We'll go to a number of the battlefield sites there before making our way over to Frankfurt, where some of you will be departing, and some of us will be going on to the extra trip, as it were, into Bavaria, which is where we're going to explore the context to all of this, the context to a lot of World War II, which of course is the rise of Hitler and National Socialism in Bavaria. So that's a quick sketch of what we're going to do. I know you've all had the papers with the timetables, but I think, Sabine, the purpose of this call really is anybody has any questions at this stage about structure of the tour, where we're staying, what clothes you should bring, any concerns you have now before the tour, just let us know, or any other concerns, any other questions concerning the history, just let us know, and we'll try and answer your questions.
All right. Do we need a visa to get into the mainland Europe?
Not to get into the continental Europe. You're going to what's called the ETA, electronic travel authorization to fly into the UK.
Yes, that's already done. I just know they're talking about having to have a visa to get on mainland Europe, but I think that's later this year.
Right. That's my understanding as well. Yeah.
Do you know how much later this year? Because we're doing another Ambrose tour in July, the Riviera to the Rhine.
At this point, I've not seen any specific date.
Okay. All right.
We're actually also having some family visiting us in July, and they're keeping an eye on that as well, and they haven't seen anything yet either. So
Okay.
I'd heard after October.
Oh, all right. They keep pushing it back. So we'll see what happens.
right. If anything, I do hope that it will work as quickly as the British version. It does, the British side, as you said, some of you've already done that. Hopefully, it says give it 72 hours, but I had mine in 10 minutes. So, which was good last year when they implemented. We had booked it before the flight. We had booked the flight before necessary, and I didn't get any information because coming from you, we had grandfathered until last year, and then it was kind of a shock when you're trying to check in the day before.
Yeah.
So good questions. Yeah.
Do we have the details on the welcome reception, which I think is on the 1st?
It is on the 1st. The itinerary has us meeting at 6:45 p.m. And there is a small room near the reception area where we normally hold any get-togethers, really. And then right across from there, we'll be having an hour later. I would like to ask everybody to please be really there at 6:45. Some folks sometimes understand the welcome reception as, I'll just drop in a few minutes before, but you would be missing a whole bunch of information that we might still be giving you at that time. Also, we would like to get to know all of you to begin with. So please try to be there at 6:45. And also want to make you aware that there's another Stephen Ambrose group staying in the same hotel on the same night. So we'll be making every effort to make sure that we're doing this on time, and also that you being caught for the right group.
Yeah, always a good idea.
And find out you won't be traveling with them.
Yep,
Yes.
I've got a question, if I could. First,
Sure.
do we pronounce your name Sabine or Sabina?
It's Sabina. Yeah, the German pronunciation sounds a little bit like an A for English speakers. But if you do say Sabine, if it slips out, I answer to that as well. I might go deaf if you call me Sabrina or Sabrina.
So my real question, we're going to be there on the afternoon of the 30th. Will you be at the hotel to meet us?
I will be arriving on the 31st in the evening, so 24 hours before the reception. I usually arrive at the hotel. Mhm.
Okay, so do we need to know anything in order to, make arrangements with the?
You have the extra nights booked, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's Brett and
James,
and James Porcolo, right? Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah, I have you down for the 2 nights, the official start of the tour, so you should be all set.
Okay, so
You
we just
the-
register.
And check in, and if there's any funny looks or anything, just tell them that this was directly booked through the Stephen Ambrose D-Day to the Rhine that starts on June the 1st. Just make clear that you belong to that group, but it usually is not a problem.
And just one more question, and then I'll be quiet. So
Oh,
getting from the airport to the hotel, I've read it's like 45 minutes. Is there a shuttle or just get a taxi or?
Well, there's actually many different ways to make your way from Heathrow to the hotel. The most comfortable way is the taxi. Of course, that's the most expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
Last time I did that, it cost probably about 80, 90 pounds.
Whoa.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yeah, the exchange rate right now is about £1 is equal to about $1.35. I always like to say just add a third, basically, dollars. And but if you have more luggage, it's relatively easy. You get in the at the airport into the taxi right out. In the parking garage areas where they also have their buses and the taxis there, and you be dropped off right in front of the door. If you take advantage of the cheaper options, which one very nice way to do this also is the Heathrow Express, which takes you directly from the airport down to Paddington Station. It is a nonstop train. And it runs every 15 minutes. And I believe it just takes 15 minutes. Hugh, correct me if I'm wrong. But it costs about, a non-refundable ticket costs £22. I've looked up per person, which is cheaper than the taxi, of course. Depends if you're traveling in a group, you might be actually coming out about the same thing or the same price with the taxi. So keep that in mind. If you also have the Elizabeth line, which is like the commuter train. It stops a few more times. If you take any of those trains, you most likely, unless you're very physically able and you want to do the walk, a train station or a subway, you have that to contend with, or you're going to take in a taxi from Paddington to your hotel anyway. It's not that close. Maybe it depends on what you're trying to do. But what I would recommend is there's a great website from Heathrow, and heathrow.com. There's a section for transport and directions. I would click on that, and you can check and see what might be the best way for your personal situation. Again, like I said, a lot of it has to do with how much luggage you're bringing. Yeah.
Do the taxis take credit cards?
I'm sorry?
Do the taxis take credit cards?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other tips, Hugh, since you're really the local guy?
I think that's pretty much it. But as Sabine says, if you do come in from the railway train, which is only about 15 to 20 minutes, you will need to get a taxi to get from there to the hotel, and it's a shortish hop. So it's not expensive, but it's still much cheaper doing that and the train than taking the taxi. And the best way to take a taxi, I guess, from the hotel straight in is just to share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far away is the underground from the hotel if we took that from Heathrow?
The nearest tube station is on something called the Piccadilly line, which actually has a link into Heathrow, and that's about a 10 to 15-minute walk. I would
Oh,
say a
okay.
50-minute slow walk.
Yeah. Okay.
What credit cards are preferred by folks driving the taxis?
They won't like American Express, but they'll do Visa card.
Okay, they will take Visa. All right.
Yeah, and I don't know if some of you had a chance to read the welcome email that I wrote out to you. I did caution, no matter what those companies are telling you, American Express and Discover are really not that popular in Europe.
Yeah.
And MasterCard will serve you better.
Are the
Yeah.
taxis metered, or do we work it out with them ahead of time?
They are metered, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Question about the bus. Wife wants to bring a large suitcase. Can we get into that every day and then just leave it on the bus at night in the luggage compartment?
I mean, you will actually have the luggage only in the bus when we're traveling that day from one hotel to another. Unless
Right.
hey, I will not need that for a couple of days or something like that, then the buses are locked up and they're secure. I've had like a person at one time, but basically on this tour, once we leave Normandy, we're almost every night in a different hotel. So every
Right.
day be checking into a new hotel. You have access to your suitcase overnight, and then you drop it off at the bus, and it's going to be on the bus while we're sightseeing, and then you get it again at night.
Right. She had like I said, we do have the smaller suitcases that we'll be carrying into the hotel and all. She just wants to be able to leave the big suitcase on the bus, and then if we need to switch out clothing, do that, and then just carry the small suitcases. Is that doable?
Theoretically, yes. I mean, yeah. Just
Okay.
be sure to have everything. A lot of hotels don't necessarily have the bus parking like right there. So
Well, no, we'll have everything we need in the small suitcase. It's just she wants to be able to grab what she needs
Yeah.
if she needs to change things out.
Sure.
okay, that's fine.
You do that.
All
You can
right.
leave the suitcase on the bus and just whenever you decide. Now, what you won't be able to do is though in the morning when we're packing up the suitcases, there won't really be time to switch stuff at that point. We're just gonna want to put those suitcases onto the bus and be ready to roll out, because we're like 30 people, and that is like between, let's say, 30 and 40 pieces of luggage that need to be put in there.
Right.
Yeah. So
So if we need to switch, do it at night when we get to the hotel.
please, yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, not a problem.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we're good.
All right, we're on the same page. Awesome. Okay, all good questions. Yeah. What else do you guys have?
I have one question. I have a friend taking the Band of Brothers tour. Are they staying at the same time frame? Are they staying at the same hotel or hotels? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Okay, just curious if we bumped
Band
into
of
them.
Brothers tour usually starts out in an Heathrow Airport hotel.
Yeah, and I
because-
think it's left already.
Yeah, I think his leaves around the 30th of May, something
I
like
see.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and their itinerary is a little bit different. Usually,
Okay.
there's the same group with us. They tend to be sister groups that have about the same itinerary. So that happens, especially in the first week of June, when there's the hub of the traveling going
Yes, so I
on.
might bump into them, I'm sure, somewhere. along.
Maybe. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
It happens. Yeah. Yeah.
I have
Did-
a question about
Laura.
footwear. I typically bring a pair of, for this type of tour, I would bring a pair of athletic trainers that are good walking shoes, decent tread and well supported. Do I need to also bring along the step up hiking shoes
No,
or not?
no, I mean, just
Yeah.
wear whatever, you're most comfortable walking around. I think the longest that we normally walk is maybe Point du Hoc, something like that. What do you think, Hugh? Do you think?
Exactly right. I mean, at one point we'll be on the beaches, so it'll be sandy. Point du Hoc is it's a well-trod track, but it's a rough track. It isn't a smooth track. It isn't tarmacked. It's like a country lane, and we'll be there. That's sometimes 45 minutes to an hour's walk, slow walk, easy, not uphill at all. And other times we'll be on grass, but we're not going any great distance. So what you've just described to me sounds absolutely ideal. The only thing I would add is just, it'd be nice if they were waterproof, so you can keep the feet dry as well, just in case we have wet weather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you in London now, you?
I live just outside London, actually. I'm between London and Oxford.
How's the weather been there?
Mixed. It's been extraordinary. This spring, we've had some lovely bright sunshine, but we've had a high pressure system located off the top end of Scotland out in the North Sea. So we've had cold winds coming across the UK, wind with a bit of wind in it. And today we've had some terrific showers. So pretty much what you can normally get at this time of year.
A
But
little bit of everything still.
Sorry?
Should we bring an umbrella, or will they be umbrellas available on the bus?
No, we don't have umbrellas. So really the only thing that we're providing on the bus is water, with our own supply of water, which there should be plenty of. We've never run out yet, even on the hot summer tours. And if somebody at some point finds out that maybe this is more strenuous than they thought and they need a little bit of help, we do have a wheelchair that we have on the bus with us.
There's no Wi-Fi on the bus, is there?
That depends on the bus. We have a new bus company. So I've been told that they're very, very nice modern buses. So hopefully we do have Wi-Fi, very conveniently located. But I have not been on one of their buses. So
that means Klaus won't be driving then, huh?
Klaus won't be driving. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's too bad. I like Klaus. He was a good guy.
This is cool. Yeah.
We had very good drivers before. So this was not a matter of the drivers, but we were wanting to make sure that we can provide you with very modern buses. So this is what we're giving a try right now. Yeah. Also,
sorry, can I just say something on the umbrella issue? I would bring a good light waterproof to keep you dry if it's raining, and bring a hat. The problem with umbrellas is if it's windy, they're very difficult to handle, and they're difficult to travel around. But if you want to get an umbrella, you can always get one in London rather than ship over from the States. But you might just take off like Mary Poppins.
Yeah, great advice. Get an umbrella from the umbrella capital of the world, right? Or maybe at any of the many souvenir stores that you'll be seeing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Question about the hotels. My wife uses a sleep machine. Should we bring an extension cord?
You might just do that because sometimes it's really
Okay.
You never know where the plug's gonna be.
outlets are.
Right.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that that was something we should do. So,
Yes, yes.
Be safe, bring a cord.
Yeah. In general, as far as electronics go, as you guys know, reading my email, that made me bring an extra charging cord, an extra charger, just in case something breaks while we're on tour, because there's not a whole lot of electronic stores around where we'll be, and you don't want to be in a situation where you're just completely out. I even take my battery bank with me, just to have an extra option. Yeah. And I've used that on the bus sometimes. Yeah. So, but
they're saying that we're not supposed to bring battery banks on the planes anymore.
well, I just came over from the States. They just didn't want them to be in the carry-on.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
overhead.
yeah.
Personal item.
Not
It's
in
an
the
overhead
overhead.
thing.
But in
Yeah.
security was when I left Frankfurt the end of March. They didn't even want to scan it. They said it's a small one. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So,
They talked probably about the huge ones, but yeah, don't check it. No, it needs to be carried on. And United, we flew United. They said, please don't put it in the overhead storage compartment. Keep it in your personal item. Yeah.
Okay.
wait,
Thank you.
so I'm confused. So it needs to be in our check baggage or on our carry-on?
No, don't check. It absolutely.
It needs to
Hand
be
luggage.
on our carry-on.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then on top of that, they said, like if you had put it in a carry-on suitcase, basically they said, pull it out and put it in your personal item. It's like they don't want it anywhere unobserved.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what I got.
Got it.
Yeah. But it was
Makes
okay.
sense.
Yeah.
And You got them funny English plugs over there? We need an adapter.
They, yeah, actually, my understanding is that our customer service department has sent out some boxes to all of
Yeah.
you, and there should have been a
Adapter.
There,
Adapter.
with the
there
different.
was.
I mean, it won't change the current of the electricity, as you well-traveled people know. It's just to provide you with the right kind of prongs for the system. And there's two different ones. You have one for the UK and you have one for the continental Europe side. Yeah. So make sure you do have that because they're
I
not
didn't get my box yet.
they said if you don't have it yet, it should arrive within the next few days. Maybe give it another week. All of you.
We'll be over there in a week.
There's a tracking
Well,
number with it.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. If any of you are leaving very, very soon, maybe just kind of reach out to customer service and tell them exactly when it was. So that was Dwight, right? Who was saying that? No, he left. I'm sorry, David.
It was Dave. Yeah.
Yeah. So when are you leaving?
I'm leaving Sunday.
This Sunday. Okay. Yeah. So there's not a whole lot, I guess, that we can do since this is
No.
Wednesday.
If it comes, it comes. Yeah.
Yeah, but let us know if you have.
Did you get yours, Jim?
No, I haven't got mine yet either.
Okay.
No.
So if you don't have it by the time that you actually leave, let's say you leave in the next morning, and just give us a heads up. And we normally try to have some extras with us.
Okay.
And I believe there is a fallback. Yeah. George is just telling days ago, so hopefully they will really show up any moment.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sabine?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Jay Cavendish. Just a quick question, follow up on this converter. typically we do carry a converter with us when we come over. Are you saying not to bring one of those, or that's okay to bring? It's just additional weight that we have to keep track of ourselves?
Well, a converter will do a different job than just the adapter. The adapter is just the prongs, and the converter, if you have something like, for example,
I want to go see the Devil Wears Prada.
iron, kind of blow dryer thingy, that they don't have in the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
So I do try that. And if you use it,
figure out, I don't know how, if grandma's up here and
with an American bathroom appliance, it might fry it because so if you require something else, then the electronics like your iPhone or your iPads and so on, if you look at the back, it usually says that you can use them between 110 volts up to 140. But otherwise, not need that special converter. You will still
that I do not have anything on my calendar for that particular day.
Yeah, but if you actually have a blow dryer, a special one,
say that she's doing something.
you might want to have that special converter. So adapter to just the prongs, converter will actually lower the strength of the electricity down for you, so you don't ruin your appliances. But electronics, double check it on the back. But I would say 99% of them nowadays will work both ways.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I have a couple of things that I just wanted to mention. All of you got the itinerary, of course, for the tour. Just a heads up, especially at that time of year when we go to Normandy, even though we do have certain things written down for a certain day, that's what we're trying to do. But sometimes when it's really crowded, we do make changes to the itinerary. So we might change the times a little bit also. It's the itinerary that you received is basically a general idea of what the sites are that we're trying to make it to that day. Most likely, if we don't do it one day, we'll do it another day. This year, not being one of those very round anniversaries, hopefully we won't have any problems making it to all the sites that are mentioned on your itinerary. There are certain things, I mean, you have a promise that we will try our hardest to make it to all of the sites that have been mentioned, okay? I'm sure you agree with that, Hugh, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. But just give you an idea that it's the itinerary as it was sent out is not written in stone 100%. Okay. Also, I'm not sure did everybody also saw the link to the WhatsApp group that was mailed out by the customer service area. It's a really nice and helpful tool for sharing things amongst the group. Nobody's going to make you use it, but it's a very popular thing. And many of our guests have also used it after the tour. We don't dissolve those tour WhatsApp groups immediately. I mean, I'm just getting around to some of the groups from like 2 years ago where I've noticed that there hasn't been any communication anymore. I'm taking some of those apart, but it's a nice way to stay in touch also with the group after the tour. Some of our historians have special pictures and etc. that they like to share with the group rather than, just holding something really small that not everybody in the 30 people group will be able to see. If they'd like to send it out as part of the WhatsApp group. What I also like to do is, even though when we get off the bus, or when the group dissolves, we give you time to be back on the bus or at a special meeting place. As a reminder, because we know how it is, you just heard it, but 5 minutes later, it's like, did she say a 1:45 and a so, or something like that. So I will make every effort to also put the meeting times in our group, so you have a place to double check. And also, if people like to help each other, because I don't maybe hear your ding immediately, and somebody else might have already told you, no, it was 1:15, something like that. That's one very nice way to help each other out. More about that when we're all together. I would still like to ask the group to confirm the cell phone numbers, please, for me before you leave the United States, just in case that the number that has been forwarded to me is not quite right. I actually do have one person where I'm not quite sure of. I've noticed that the Ketterlings, and I believe I do have one of the Ketterlings here with us, right, Dwight?
Yes.
Yeah. I did see that one of you signed into the WhatsApp group.
That would be my wife. I haven't put it on there yet, so she'll walk me through that, and I'll be on the group here soon.
Okay, and that's great. That's fine. And if anybody has any trouble, I'll be happy to help you in London. But Dwight, on you, I just noticed, or on your wife's phone number, do you know off the top of your head if that phone number should end in a 0 or in a 2?
Her number is 0170.
70, okay.
Right. Mine will end in 0172.
Okay. All right. Okay, then it was her that signed in, and I'll change that in my contact information. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay.
You said 0171.
Somebody else got in the middle of that. Yeah. Okay. So if anybody who's not joined the WhatsApp group or not gotten back to me with their correct cell phone number, I would appreciate if you could do that, just in case something happens that I need to let you know before you arrive in London. Then I know for sure I have the right phone number. Okay, I appreciate that. Also, one thing that I hadn't mentioned in the welcome email is the crossing on the ferry. If anybody's prone to motion sickness, you want to make sure that you have something with you. As you guys know from D-Day experience, even though we're not crossing in tiny boats, it can still get bumpy depending on what the weather system is like. On the ship, you'll be able to purchase something, but I just find it easier to come with my patch. I am prone to motion sickness, and I always have a patch on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there had been mentioning about the currency. The ferry that we were on last time did no longer offer currency exchange, nor was there an ATM on the ferry.
Oh.
So your cards will work fine. It will take cash, both in pounds and in euros. But if you're hoping to get your euros on the ferry, that won't work. Likely that will not work. The first ATM that we'll have access to will probably be in Saint-Mère-Église, which is not the first day that we're arriving in Normandy, so it'll be a day later. Okay. So if you saw in the email that I wrote that really Heathrow is a great place to get both currencies. There are ATMs there that you can make withdrawals in pounds as well as in euros with your regular debit card. Yeah.
How much would you suggest?
Well, it's really a personal thing, and how often you would like to go to the ATM. In general, credit cards are widely expected or accepted in everywhere in Europe. And London, they actually prefer the credit card. They really don't want pounds anymore a whole lot.
Yeah.
But it's and ATMs are getting fewer and fewer along the route because in Europe there have been a lot of ATMs been broken into. There are some gangs around here that specialize on that, and since a lot of the ATMs in Europe are also located in residential buildings, it's jeopardizing the people that live in there. And so a lot of banks are no longer offering the ATM. So it can be a challenge sometimes to find some. I try to make a note of everyone I know, and I will let you know when I know. But if you're not sure, err on the more side.
Hey, Sabina.
Yeah.
In London and in Normandy, we're staying at the hotel, the same hotel for several days. Do you know, are there safes available in the hotel rooms? I know they're not the greatest security, but there's something.
Yeah, now I'm not sure anymore. I think the one in London has safes in the hotel. I'm not sure that the one in Normandy does. The Norman hotels tend to be more like a bed and breakfast with a really nice restaurant setting. So it doesn't always come with all the amenities that you would have in a chain, but it has a lot of lovely atmosphere, And also this setting where we'll be on the beach facing the Channel Islands. I mean, it's and I've heard fabulous things about their gourmet cuisine in that hotel, but I'm not sure that they have safes there. So what you could do, if there's none, then you could bring your valuables in the morning, and you can always leave them on the bus. The bus will be locked up when we're not in there. Okay, so it's safe in there. Might be safer than a hotel room. Yeah,
Good information. Thank you.
Do you have any thoughts on that, Hugh, as well?
No, I think you're bang right about the continental hotels. The hotel in London, they have safes in the rooms.
Okay.
The perfectly regular ones hidden away in a cupboard, and it'll give you could choose your combination and pop your belongings in there. And because Sabina's such a genius, she will always remind you before we leave the hotel to check the safe to make sure you've got everything out of it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna get tired of that. But since we're changing hotels every day, just about after Normandy, you'll have passport check every day.
Also, you recommend using the safes?
I'm sorry?
You recommend using the safes just as a matter of course?
Yeah, I mean, unless if you're a lady, you tend to have a person that's in there, and I don't do it in every hotel when I'm just a night there, because I carry it in my and usually it's at that time in the evening. It's just we're getting out of the bus, we're checking in, we're having dinner as a group. So as long as you don't leave it unattended in your room, you'll be okay. All
right.
But those safes are great. The trick is just not to forget that you had used it and you have something in there. Yeah, I will help you remember, but please be aware that if you find out an hour into the drive or even further that your passport is not there, and that's why you might maybe find me annoying on the bus when I say, please show me your passport. Don't just say, I know where it is, because can't you think you know where it is? And then especially if we have to get on the ferry, we would have to leave you. And you would have to, book your own trip over once you have your passport. And I had one time a situation where a lady had changed purses the night before and forgot that she had moved it into the other purse, and then she was in a panic. And it was the morning of the ferry crossing, so I'm glad that she figured it out in time. We
Well,
had already.
Luckily, I only have one purse.
Yeah, some of you have purses nowadays, so.
When you were talking about the ferry, we can use credit cards on the ferry then if we're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they take credit card and they take cash in pounds and euros. It's
Oh.
just, it's not a place where you can exchange.
Right. No, I just want to make sure that they'll take the credit cards. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have pounds left over, then the ferry is, pounds left in cash. The ferry will be a nice place to spend some of that. The lunch on the ferry will be on your own, so that's one way to use up some of that. Yeah.
How long is the ferry crossing? Do you know?
It's 5 hours, and you lose an hour.
Oh, okay.
Changing time zones.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I believe we're supposed to arrive at like 2:00 French time. I'm just checking. Yeah, 2:15 French time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, so while we're on the ferry, and we're going to remind you of all of that before, of course, is you need to make sure that you're bringing all the things that you want for those 5 hours up to the lounging area. We actually have a reserved lounge, but you can, wander around, of course, have your lunch there, and just check out the outside, whatever you feel like doing. It's lovely to do, taking in the sea air. We just have to meet back at the lounging area, and then they normally walk us off the boat as a group. They bring us on as a group, they walk us off. If anything's for sure is that always the procedure changes, so you will hear me say that a lot when we are dealing with the ferry business, that we'll have to see. Yeah, but always make sure that you have everything you want, because you can't get back down to the deck where the bus is, and nobody will be able to open that for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay. All right. This recording or this call will be recorded. Actually, you might have noticed that when you signed on, and our customer service will also send a link to an edited version of the call out to all of you. If you have maybe a friend who wasn't able to listen to, and they also would like to listen to it, they should be able to have access to that within a few days. And yeah. That's sometimes, or you want to hear something again. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in London.
Okay.
Same here.
Can't wait.
Same here.
Yeah.
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 Me
We'll have
too.
some-
Looking forward to it. Apologize in advance in the sense that we've got we're gonna have so much time and so much to talk about. We got quite a lot of coach time. So rather than doing formal presentations in the hotels and stuff, I'll be doing a whole series of little talks when we're on the coach, and really hoping we can make it a really discussive tour. So keep the questions coming.
Yeah. And if
Okay.
anything else pops up until we meet, please don't hesitate to send me a message either by WhatsApp, or if you feel like it would be for the benefit for everybody, you can do WhatsApp or an email for all of us, or just a private email. That's fine as well.
All right.
See you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank you. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Hey,
I
Eric.
know.